Hey, friends. As we enter the second quarter of the year, many of us are stepping into the season of the first fruits. It's the season where we will begin to see the budding signs of long-standing promises, the manifestation of God's glory unfolding in different areas of our lives. But stepping into the land to reap that harvest is going to require courage, and it will not always come with ease. Literally speaking, first fruits were simply the first crops harvested at the beginning of a growing season. They were considered the best indicator of the overall quality of the harvest. In Numbers 13, following the instruction of the Lord, Moses sent men to scout the land of Canaan, the promised land, and bring back some of the fruit of the land. The scripture tells us in verse 20, it was the season of the first ripe grapes, marking the start of the grape harvest when the fruit was just beginning to ripen. When the spies arrived, they cut down a branch with a single cluster of grapes so large it had to be carried on a pole by two men. That detail alone speaks to the weight, the size, the abundance of the fruit. The men had evidence right before their eyes that the land God was giving them to possess was fertile, productive, and overflowing. And yet, instead of fixing their eyes on the fruit, the men fell into fear. When they returned, some of them gave a negative report to the Israelites, saying that they had seen giants in the land and declaring, "To ourselves, we seem like grasshoppers." They didn't just see themselves as small, they saw themselves as insignificant, easily crushed, and powerless. In an instant, the fruit was forgotten. The abundance they witnessed in Canaan was overshadowed by what stood between them and it. So, as we lay hold of the promises and territories God has given us, I believe the Lord is issuing two warnings for this season. First, do not forfeit your blessing to fear. As you navigate the challenges that come with taking possession of the land, the warfare, the limiting beliefs, the insecurity, the fear, be careful how you see yourself. Be careful how you see your strength and ability. Do not carry a grasshopper mindset. Do not diminish the fact that it is God who is giving you the land and fulfilling the promise. The Israelites' lack of faith cost them dearly. It cost some their lives, it cost many to forfeit entrance into the promised land, and it sent the remainder wandering in the wilderness for 40 years. The second thing is, when you lay hold of the promise, do not forget to give God what belongs to Him. Under the Old Covenant, the Israelites were commanded to bring the first and the best of their crops, livestock, and produce to God. The principle was clear. Everything came from Him, and the first fruit belonged to Him. The Feast of the First Fruits falls during Passover week. As we celebrate Passover, remember the harvest did not come to those who stood at the edge of the land and turned back. It came to those who stepped in. So step in, gather what God has grown for you, honor Him with the first and best, because your season of first fruits is here. Until next time, keep your eyes on the glimpses of life.